What's up, guys? So today, well, tonight, kind of late, I'm going to tell you about retail arbitrage versus private labeling and what the difference is between the two. I am still only doing retail arbitrage. I'm researching private label product, but it takes a little bit, which you'll see in a second. But yeah, I have a lot of experience with retail arbitrage. I haven't personally done private labeling, but I'm in enough. I know a lot about it. I've done a lot of the process. I just actually haven't went all the way through yet. So disclaimer, I guess. But I'm in a lot of groups and I talk to a lot of people and I got a lot of friends online that do it and I've kind of like learned some stuff about it as I've been researching it. But yeah, this is going to be RA versus PL and the difference between both of them again, basically. Um, so I made this cute little T-chart type deal in Word just to kind of visually compare the both of them here. So retail arbitrage is basically going into stores and buying things for a cheaper price than they sell online, which is usually Amazon. You can do eBay and Craigslist and stuff like that, but I just do Amazon. It's the most hands off and passive. Um, the advantages to retail arbitrage is it's low risk because there's low initial capital required to get started. So you can start retail arbitrage with $50, $25, $500. Really, it's up to you. It's just how much stuff that you want to initially try it out with. I have a video that shows you can literally go to Goodwill and start with like $5 and make 20, $30 off of a $5 item and then reinvest that and just keep on going up. Um, it's easy to do, easy to learn. There's a ton of videos online. I got quite a few walkthroughs on my channel. There's some courses. I have my own. I'm not going to really promote it other than saying I have one. Um, but it's easy to learn, easy to do. I literally taught myself how to do it. I just saw Gary Vee talk about basically the 2017 challenge and selling online and flipping stuff and just kind of figured out how to do it through research and just trying it. I would recommend doing a course or getting a mentor, even though it is easy, just because it's also easy to mess up. I have got my account suspended twice this year, actually doing retail arbitrage. So, and that sucks because basically all your whole account's on hold, your payouts are on hold, so you don't get paid for anything you've sold in the last like 14 days. And they put it on hold for 90 days. And you can appeal it, which I've appealed it both times. I got it back both times. But I had to pay somebody to do that because I didn't know how to do it. But yeah, I got a video on that too. But yeah, I would recommend finding someone that has done it and knows how to do it to teach you. But it is easy to do. It's easier than private labeling. Can be done anywhere there are stores. So if you have thrift stores, Goodwills, Walmarts, Targets, any kind of store around you, you can do it. It can be done. And it's a really good way to start selling on Amazon and just kind of learn the platform and how to work it. There's some disadvantages to RA. It is hard to scale because you actually have to physically go to stores and physically get the product. And sometimes sit in a store, I might be in a Goodwill for 2 hours just scanning books and just seeing which ones I can make money on. Um, so it is a little harder to scale because it's like physical manpower. You have to go out and do the stuff to do it. You have no ownership over any of the products because it's stuff that's already on Amazon. It's somebody else's stuff that you're just reselling, basically. You have unpredictable inventory. I had a problem with this like a month or two ago where I only ended up making like $600 for that month just because your inventory depends on what stores have in stock. So it's kind of like you can hit the jackpot and get a ton of stuff, or they can be low on stuff. Like the Christmas season, most stores are sold out of a lot of stuff right now. So inventory is down, which means my money is down because my inventory depends on the stores. So that's a disadvantage. It's hard to predict your earnings for that reason because you don't know when you're going to get a bunch of inventory or not. And then something else is that it's time consuming. Like I said, you got to physically go to the stores, scan all the stuff, buy all the stuff, box it up, and all that. But it's still pretty passive. I might spend 15, 20 hours a month doing it, and I make an extra $1,000 on average, 1,000, 1,500. So it's still 20, 25 an hour, something like that. It's well worth it to me to do that. And I put advantage and disadvantage on this column are margins, which is how much you make or your ROI on whatever you invest in inventory. So sometimes, like for example, I have a video where I went to Goodwill and bought a $3 CD player and then sold it for like $48. So that's a 15 times ROI. But then again, sometimes you'll go to like the dollar store and only find stuff. Say you buy it for $3 and it sells for $12. So you only make 2 or 3 times on that. So it can be anywhere from like a 2x to a 20x ROI. It just depends on the store, the deal, and what you're getting. So let's retail arbitrage. Private labeling. So this is finding a product that's already in demand and already manufactured. Usually you'll find your manufacturer on Alibaba, which basically connects you to factories in China, which is where basically everything is made. And what you do is find that product and then put your private label on it, which is basically your own brand or little company that you're making. And then you sell it for a profit. So some advantages to this is with private labeling, it's more predictable. Your earnings are more predictable because once you get started, you can kind of see what you're selling and you can kind of predict that you're probably going to sell at least that much in the next month or quarter or however you're judging your earnings. It's easier to scale because, you just talk to your manufacturer and you're like, hey, instead of 500 units this month, I need 1,000 because they're selling out and my sales are growing. I'm getting more organic traffic, stuff like that. You own the product. Well, you can go about trademarking it and all that stuff if you want to. And from what I've read, that is usually what you'll do down the line. But you basically have ownership of that exact product on Amazon because it's your private label. You might not have the patent rights to whatever you have. Say if it's a towel or, I don't know, a can opener or something. Obviously, you didn't invent the can opener, but this is Kevin's can openers, so it's your thing. You have a little more control over it. You can ask them to make modifications to it and stuff. So it's kind of like your baby, basically. It is more passive once it's established. I don't know this firsthand, but basically there is a lot of up work. That came out totally wrong. There's a lot of work up front, and you have to do your research, find a good product, contact manufacturers, get samples, see if they're good, negotiate prices, get them to manufacture it, send it to Amazon, create the listing. There's a bunch of stuff up front. But once you have your product made, manufactured on Amazon, selling, then essentially all you have to do at that point is just say, hey, I need this many units this month. That's about it. Answer questions about your product if people have them in the FAQ. Update your listing every now and then, make it look better, take a better picture. But it's a lot more passive than RA once it gets going. But it is an upfront investment in time and work. And something else, it can be done worldwide. You can do it literally anywhere that you have Wi-Fi. You can get on Alibaba.com, find stuff, get on Amazon, put it on there. That's about it. There are some disadvantages to private labeling. It is more risky because if you buy, let's say you invest $5,000, let's say about $2,000. Usually you can start for $1,500, $2,000, somewhere around there. Let's say you invest $1,500 in a product and you think it's going to sell really good and it doesn't, and now you're stuck with $1,500 worth of inventory that you either have to let go at cost or do giveaways or something, and you just lost $1,500. And next, more capital required is essentially what I just said. Usually it takes at least $1,000 minimum to start a private label product. It's going to be hard to find something that's profitable that you can source for less than $1,000. And takes time to start. Like I said a minute ago, there's a lot of upfront work involved in doing a private label. And then there's more of a learning curve. So, you have to deal with customs, shipping stuff into the U.S. from China. You have to figure out how to make a label, how to make your packaging, how to build an Amazon listing, what all of their requirements are, take the pictures. And most of the time, you'll outsource a lot of that stuff if you have the capital. So not only will you have the inventory cost of your capital, you'll have inventory costs, but you also have to outsource your pictures and then outsource your, you might have a customs agent, or you might have a quality inspector in China on the ground that will send you pictures of the process to make sure everything's going good, instead of just taking the factory's word for it. But there is more stuff to learn, but, that's basically it. I personally would recommend, which is what I'm doing right now, do retail arbitrage up until you have enough money coming in to invest some of that in a private label. So I've been doing retail arbitrage since March, had some ups and downs. I'm really getting the hang of it now, and it's really taken off. If I wouldn't have just bought this house, I would have actually launched a private label product. But at the time in my life, this house was more important than starting a private label for my family. So I decided to buy this house instead of launching a product. But hopefully around tax time I'll get a product launched and I'll give y'all an update on that. But yeah, that's about it. That's retail arbitrage versus private labeling. If y'all have any questions, please let me know below in the comments. And keep hustling. Like, subscribe, share. Hit that notification bell button, you know what I'm talking about, so that you get updates on the new videos. See you guys.